couple of scratches now, I see. And we're off and running.
Well, as tracks go, this is a pretty good track for distance. They had the national championships, the TAC championships here at Cerritos College last year, and it yielded some very good times in pretty much all the distances. It's not one of the faster tracks for a sprinting track, but it's also not the slowest. But the distance runners seem to like it. It's just the wind is a problem, and that's something you just have to deal with. That's why you may see some reluctant people reluctantly leading some of these lap races.
Just a quick look at the high jump. It's at 5:10, and just clearing it in the girls' competition, the high jump, Chi Johnson of Menlo Atherton at 5:10. Her best, so she's done very well. And here's Tanya Smith at 5:10.
Tanya is a great all-around. She clears it too after hitting it on the way up. She's also a great hurler. She'll be running the 300-meter hurdles a little later, and just missed being in the 100-meter hurdles. Didn't have a good run there, so she was going to be a very busy young lady. Let's take a look at this jump. Very long, high center of gravity. Using her run up well, she drops her arms a little bit, but then gathers them at the end. Outstanding height. She was actually jumped higher after the bar, just brushed it and stays on. 5:10, a very good result so far, and she looks like she has more in her, Tom.
All right, back to the 1600 meter. Melina Glusak of Fallbrook is leading. Running in the second spot is Shelley Taylor. Rebecca Spies now moving up into the number 2 spot. Closely bunched, a field of 4, and then about 10 meters, and then 4 others.
Now the wind seems to be gusting. As we look at the flags on the infield, you can sort of take a look and see what it's doing. It gusts and it swirls. It'll be a headwind at one point, then it'll be a tailwind at another point. So it's very difficult for the athletes who are going to have to lead these lap races. They're going to have to do the work for the rest of the people in the field. And now we see the second group trying to catch back up, because then it's like 2 packs. You got 2 different people having to do all the work.
Melina Glusak of Fallbrook continues to lead. Rebecca Spies of Livermore second. Erica Sumi of Long Beach Wilson running in the number 2 spot. This is the girls' 1600 meter race. Fallbrook running in the number 2 spot is Spies and Sumi. All right, they've set the bar for the high jump up at 5:11 now. 2:25. 2 minutes 25 seconds for 800. Halfway through this women's 1600 as we go to the high jump competition.
Oh, excellent speed, but she dropped her arms and sort of long jumped on that one. A lot of athletes still in with the bar at 5:11, which is good news for the women's high jump. Let's take a look at Chi Johnson again. Jumps much differently than does Tanya Smith. She runs at the bar very fast, lower center of gravity, but watch how far she travels. She takes off at one standard and lands all the way down by the other one. That bar is 13 feet long, so she did a bit of long jumping on that instead of high jumping.
Well, you watch Tanya Smith. We look back at the 1600, and moving out in front is Rebecca Spies of Livermore. She has taken a very large lead. Back to the high jump. Beautiful effort by Smith, and she clears it at 5:11.
Just about the way she cleared 5:10. She gave it a little bit better wrap, but she's hitting it right on the way down, so it's staying on as Rebecca Spies starts to break this race open.
Wide open, in fact. Spies has taken about a 20-meter advantage. As we get the bell lap, this would be the last 400 now for this women's or girls' 1600 meter run. 3:37.4 the time after 1,200 meters, and Spies is running a race all by herself out there, Dwight. She's got at least 25 meters advantage. In the number 2 spot is Nikki Shaw of Fillmore, but she is a distant second, well back, and she figured to be the chief competition for Becky Spies, but she really is no competition at all at this juncture of the race. As she makes the turn, she'll have about 120 meters to go. Way out in front.
Yeah, she may have started. It's just a matter of did she start her kick too early. And it looks like she's sustaining it very, very well. She has a little over 100 meters to go. Nikki Shaw is trying with every ounce of effort to catch her, but Rebecca Spies apparently is going to hang on actually quite easily.
Yes, and in fact, it'll be interesting to see what happens to her. She's going to come back and double in the 800 later, Dwight. So it'll be interesting to see what an impressive victory by, 30, 40 meters easily. As Rebecca Spies wins it. In second place, Nikki Shaw of Fillmore.
And and about a 68-second last lap with this wind and everything else. Very impressive. But I think you make a good point there, Tom, when you talk about how much will she have left in the 800. She obviously had a very good sprint there, but how much of that is going to take it out of her for the 800, which we will be running in a little bit later. But if she's well trained, and obviously this is the climax of the year, she's doubled before. She doubles in dual meet. She doubles in invitationals, so she's probably quite prepared to come back. But that was an impressive victory and actually ran a lot harder than she had to win here.
4:45.1 was the time. 67.7 that last 400, and she wins it easily going away.